Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to a new coloring adventure with CLAldridges Art. You may notice something a little different than coloring here on my desk, and today I thought that I would give my first impressions as a newbie to diamond painting. I have been toying with the idea of having some of my artwork made up into diamond painting, and I thought that that might be a good use for this particular drawing that I did finish. I made a couple of videos on it. This is finished now with all of the shading done on the framework and all of that. And but before I did, I wanted to find out what I was actually letting myself in for. So I went on to Amazon, and after watching both Anne at A Colorful Life and several videos from Mrs. Crochet and Coffee here on YouTube, and learning just a little bit about the different qualities that are available in diamond painting kits, and the various things, I felt prepared enough to order one on Amazon, and I stuck with a relatively small 30 by 40 centimeter canvas. So this is roughly 11, I think it's 11 inches by, whoops, now it's actually, whoops, maybe if I turned it to the 10, yeah. Okay, so this is about 9 3/4 by 15. I think it's 15.7 centimeters. So a nice medium-sized canvas. I know this is the size that Anne said that she likes to work on best. I picked out a reputable company that had lots of reviews, and I ordered this particular diamond painting kit. Now, I wasn't going to show this because I was originally making it I am making it as a gift for somebody, but she now knows about it, so there's no reason why I can't film a first impressions video about it. At any rate, I will tell you that if you are visually impaired, and while I don't suffer from blurry vision or anything like that, I am 60 years old. I am subject to eye fatigue since I am an artist. My eyesight, of course, is very important to me. I do wear glasses, which I cannot wear for close work, even though these are those fancy-dancy, expensive progressive lenses, because even now I've gotten to the point where I cannot see to read out of the lowest part of them. I actually have to take them off. So I do this with the lights off. Now, from what I understand, if you are working on a lighter canvas than the picture that I chose, something with whites, pinks, yellows, lighter colors in the backgrounds, you may not need a light box, but since this is black, and although the symbols are very clear on the front, and I can show you that. Let's switch the autofocus on for just a second and see if I can show you that. Oops. Yeah. See how clear? Well, autofocus. Come on. There we go. You have to get your flesh out of it. The symbols are very, very clear on it. It is very difficult to see. I'll show you this one. That's all the number 2s. It's very difficult to see them because they are black or dark blue. So I have one of these light boxes, and that really helps to illuminate the empty spaces so that you can see where you're filling in. Now these kits come with these little trays. Now this is very, very lightweight. These drills are small, and they are, because the tray is very lightweight, it is very easy to flip it over. So provided that you don't have any problems sitting straight up on a table or a desk, I would recommend that if you're going to work with a little tray like this, if you're going to work with a in like an easy chair or something like that, I believe they make a heavier duty tray. And what makes these trays so interesting is they've got these little ridges in the bottom that catch the see, if you've got flesh in there, it's very difficult for the camera to focus on that. Get out of, there we go. All right, so you can see how tiny they are, and you can see in there which ones are turned over. Sorry, it blurs every time I breathe. Which ones are turned over and which ones are straight up. Actually, I can see them much better. Maybe I should just keep the camera fixed on my tray. And so I have found that I have to put it down and then sort of look at it sideways, with my head sideways, so I can catch a reflection of the light off the facets. And that way you can tell which ones are turned over properly and which ones aren't. Now this kit was made by a company called Benbow, B-E-N-B-O, and it comes with this small single-headed drill. I understand that they do make these with multiple drill things, but I've never been able to get them to line up quite right because they're really lightweight for that to be a really feasible option for me. But my understanding is that bigger kits come with both a bigger tray and the multiple head. I would imagine that the ideal would be is if you could find a ceramic or something like that with these little ridges built into it, that would be perfect, because then you could shake it and not worry about your drills going everywhere. But I have, in thinking that I was catching one, I have shot it, shot drills across the desk. I've actually clipped this with the end of my finger and flipped it over. At which point in drills, your little tiny lightweight drills do go pretty much everywhere. So those are just a couple of tips from a newbie, impressions, that kind of thing. Now, because I didn't quite know about this, and because I do not invest in the gigas of a craft until I'm absolutely dead certain that it's something I want to continue to do, I have just been using the drills out of these little pouches. Now, they come all attached together in like a row. There's a gajillion diamond painting YouTube channels out there that you've probably seen these on, and Mrs. Coffee and a million others, but those are the two that I've seen. And so I do, even though they are perforated in between, I have enough experience that tells me that it's very easy to actually, while you're trying to get them apart, to rip into one of your packages. So I just cut off a little corner of the package with a pair of scissors. And I've got just a piece of packing tape that I cut in, I just cut it, and I made one side a tab. So I just folded it over onto itself. And then it, I think you can see that. So then I just attach it to the back behind the little slice that I made and bring it over. And that way I've got like my own little resealable package, and I can just pour out as many as I need. And so I've done that on all of the ones that I've used so far, and it seems to just be working fine. So I don't need, one of those plastic cases with the little boxes. Although I imagine that if you were to really take this hobby seriously, that having one of those boxes with all the little storage containers, because these have a DMC code, and so based upon the code, and this is not part of the code, by the way. This all has to do with which kit you bought. Based upon the code, the kit, like any kit with number 813, it's always going to be that particular shade of blue. A kit with number 3371 is always going to be that particular shade of whatever that color is. It's not black because that's black. 310 is black. I'm guessing that the X's are a very dark blue, although it's very hard for me to see in this light. I know the B's are a very dark blue. Maybe the X's are a very deep purple. Anyway, but so if you have extra drills, you could store them then in that, with a bunch of kits. You could store all the 890 or 898s in one container. Let's see. All right, so the other thing that I have found very helpful is, of course, a magnifier. Now, this one is not a good one to use because you need to have something that you can move out of the way. But if you have a magnifying glass, or better yet, one of those round lighted things that you can do this through, I think that would be helpful as well. All of that said, I have been working on this particular project, and as you can see, I've been tearing back the cellophane in sort of strips as I work each little section. Oh, I know what that is. I had set that one on top of the little magnifier because it was a stray. And so I was looking for a little container to put that in. Now, it does come with, all right, so here's the other thing it comes with. It comes with this wax stuff. And when you first get it, all your tools are in this little baggy thing. Now, it comes with some extra little real baggies. Oh, look, there's a home for that. One little stray drill. This is where I'm putting all my little strays, because there'll be, occasionally if you've got a pouch of blacks, there'll be an odd purple in it, so you just take it out, set it aside. You can toss it, but I never toss anything. It all goes into something. So it comes with some little spare baggies. The directions, which are of course always important, but the directions are also written down here on the bottom, but they're a little harder to see. So more baggies, another baggie, and finally the wax. So now this is wax, and it has these little plastic bits on the side. You just peel it away, and you use your little tool to mush some of the wax into your thing, and it makes a little bit sticky. And this wax is wonderful. I have only done it just a couple of times to do all of this, so you can see that one of these lasts a long time. And I really didn't need to mush it. I just wanted to do that for demonstration. It was still picking up drills just fine. So let me stick all of these back in here. Now I do have a case of these little baggies because I used to do jewelry, so I have a lot of bead baggies. So if I can run across where I put them, then I'll put all my little drills in there if I have any left over when I'm done. And I can just make a little label thing and label it which DNC code it is. Oh. See the directions, you never know. Could have a brain fade. Might need those. Okay, so other first impressions. I found that working from the bottom up for me is the better deal. Even though you do end up kind of putting your little finger down as you are, you don't have to. You can, just sort of touch it like this with the drill. But the glue on the surface of this canvas is so strong that the wax that holds it onto your let me just pick one up. See, it just picks it up. And then, what color is this? This is the V's. Turn this on. You can't actually see this, but there's a V, and you just touch it, and it sticks right to the canvas. But I like to cover it up because I have a cat, and it does get dusty in the office, so I keep it covered up so it doesn't pick up any cat hair or dust. And maybe one of you out there knows, but I'm thinking because anytime you start putting round objects together, it always leaves a little bit of area that you can see through. So you see how you can see the light where all of these drills are? And in order to keep it from becoming a dust magnet, because all of that is actually that super strong glue, there must be some vinyl coating that these things get to prevent that from happening, but I don't know what it is yet. But I'm sure if one of you knows, you'll tell me. And yeah, so it's very, very cool. It's a very cool hobby. And it's really not one that I should be working on right now. The fact that I am doing it is two reasons. One, of course, this one is a gift. The other one is I'm doing research. That's it. I'm officially doing research to see if I want to license any of my art for diamond paintings. And I think the answer to both is clear. Yes and yes. So anyway, let's see. Okay, so first impressions. Eyesight, definitely. If you've got assistance, use it. Drills, lightweight, talked about that. You know me, I'm all about the practicalities of, everybody can show you what it is, but until you start using it for yourself, you don't really understand all the little things that can go wrong. Like I was talking to my friend Virginia today. She also is diamond painting. and a newbie like me. And I've lost a tray of drills all over the top surface of my desk. She's lost a tray of drills in the cushions of her reclining chair. Both are equally difficult to gather, although she won the prize for that. I have accidentally put drills in the wrong place. They can, in fact, be peeled off and moved to a new place with no harm to the glue underneath. And when you put the drills down, if your lines or your rows aren't particularly straight, don't worry, because these drills literally are capable of floating around on top of the drills or on top of the glue. If you don't have to move it very far, which you usually don't, if you usually have to move it like 1 or 2 spaces over, you can also, you can also sort of pick this up, and the wax will help you sort of scooch it over, or you can flip it up and see if you can get it to turn over so that you can then get it off of there. There's all sorts of ways, if you make a little mistake, that you can fix it. And I think that is about it. Otherwise, Harbor Freight has really cool little 25-piece like bead box things that you could store your drills in. I think they're getting $4.99 for that, $4.99. It is available if you go to harborfreight.com online. Just do a Google search for Harbor Freight, which is a chain of stores. But I found the boxes are available online, so you can add them to your cart and have them shipped to you. You don't have to actually go out to the store. Yeah, I think that's it for first impressions. So happy diamond painting, everybody. If you are a newbie like me, you've been wanting to give it a try, I would recommend the Benbow product, Benbo, bees are in boy, like boy, on Amazon. Find a picture that you like, at least 30 by 40. If you go with a smaller canvas like this, make sure that your principal object, and I learned this from Ann just now, make sure that the principal objects are large. And see how this one is it's a butterfly. Now these are little tiny butterflies over here, and I expect that they are going to be pixelated when I go to actually put beads on, or drills on those. They call these little things drills. In the same way that this pool of water is sort of pixelated. And there's like a little castle here that's pixelated. If this were a much larger version, there would be more pixels to make the image up from, and it wouldn't be pixelated. So if you want to do the larger canvases and if you want to do the larger canvases, you can go with smaller details. If you want the smaller canvases, look for a large type object, a large type single object like this one. All right, that's it. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Enjoy diamond painting, and until we meet again, color something pretty.